Greetings, this is the Shadow Man. On this episode, we're gonna talk about two things: President-elect Donald Trump and the death of Fidel Castro. Well, regarding the President-elect, sorry for the quite late release of this item, but I wanted to see what responses there will be for many unexpected Mr. Trump's election. The liberal thirds didn't disappoint. It was so much fun to see their meltdown live while watching the election results live. It's like they were hit with a hammer on their head, crying, screaming about how on earth could this happen, while staying in their metropolitan bubbles like New York and Los Angeles, totally unaware what people in US in the States were going through. I'm from the beginning had hoped that the silent majority who refused to tell pollsters or anyone else that they were voting for Trump, and I got it right. In my personal opinion, Mr. Trump won because the people really wanted a conservative raw outsider who doesn't own anything to any special interests. And the ignorant media like New York Times and CNN simply didn't saw it because they were blinded by their imaginary moral superiority, while in real life they're morally bankrupt. The most fun was seeing the US talk show comedians Seth Meyers, Stephen Colbert, and Trevor Noah having a total meltdown. They probably got all depressed finding out that people actually don't listen to their rubbish. And then there were celebrities. Their crying was extra enjoying. Also, European politicians suddenly needed to swallow their insults towards Trump, Merkel, Hollande, Rutte, that's Dutch Prime Minister, Poroshenko from Ukraine, who was sucking up to Clinton in September and bashing Trump, immediately started deleting his tweets. Mr. Trump released a policy video a couple of days ago, and I especially liked his plans on choking the lobbyists in Washington. I really hope he will not let neocon Bolton anywhere near the administration, since that guy is really war hungry. I hope Mr. Trump will mend relations with Russia. Russia is open to it, as Mr. Putin said today in his nation address. The reason the relations are bad now are because Obama somehow got in his head that he had the right to dictate how Russia should behave and act, not on Mr. Putin's watch. Well, and now regarding the death of Mr. Fidel Castro. Last Friday, a big statesman passed away, Fidel Castro. I don't care about what Western press tells about him. He cleaned Cuba of Batista criminals, gave Cubans good healthcare and education, and there's virtually no illiteracy. Stupid Western elites are celebrating him, but hang on, the stupid Western lefties are celebrating him, but they don't know how he ruled Cuba. Yes, communism is considered left, but in countries like Cuba and USSR, they are very conservative. It means that everything was strict. No minority was allowed to push his idiot culture or opinion on on the majority, like happens in the West, where desert people from the Middle East think they can do anything that they want. Also, traditional values like family and marriage between man and woman are very high priorities in both former USSR and in Cuba. So those countries are totally different than the lefties, the liberal lefties here in Europe are actually thinking. So they wouldn't survive there if they would try to go there. That's simply something they just don't want to accept or don't want to learn about. Well, this was my opinion on the current most important happenings around the world. This was the Shadow Man. Until next time.